We're talking about a company's strategic intent, and there are three components to strategic intent. In our last session, we talked about one of them, which is a company's core values. Today, we're going to talk about the second ingredient to a company's strategic intent, and that is its mission. And then next, we'll talk about the third, and that is a company's vision. But today, let's think about a company's mission. So here's a question for you. If I quizzed a handful of your company's employees and asked them to state for me the company's mission statement, how many different answers would I get? Would any of those answers be correct? Well, my experience when I've done this little experiment is usually I get multiple answers, and very few of them are what the company has indicated is their mission statement. So what is a mission statement? A mission, it's a company's reason for being. It is their core purpose. It is what makes a company heroic. I love that. It's what makes a company heroic. Jim Collins says a company's mission should last, 100 years or more. It may be something that never is actually captured in its entirety by a company. There was a study that was done that looked at companies and their mission statements, over 2,000 companies, and they found that over 93% of those companies' mission statement failed to actually say why that company was in business. Now, as a business owner, I was hesitant about this whole idea of mission statement. Why was this important? How did this get me more sales, more profit, a quicker exit? And then a number of years ago, I watched a powerful TED Talk done by the best-selling author Simon Sinek, and the TED Talk is entitled. It's based on one of his books, Start with the Why. And I highly recommend this TED Talk. And one of the statements that Sinek makes is so powerful. He says the following. He says, people don't buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. People don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. It's not about the product or service, it's about your why, your purpose. And to me, that was so powerful. And then not long after that, I read a Harvard Business Review article about mission and purpose. And it was a study that looked at companies that had powerful mission and purpose. And they found that these companies, their profits outperformed the market, their industry, by almost 384%. I don't know about you, but I would like to perform my competitors by 384%. That's how powerful a mission statement can perform for your company. So let's think about that mission statement and what's the criteria for a company's mission statement. You can jot these down as we go through each of them. Number one, your mission statement is not a goal or strategy. Those are important, but that's not what a mission statement is. So a mission statement wouldn't be, we want $20 million in revenue this year, or we're going to move into a new geographic territory. That's not what a mission statement is. Secondly, the mission statement is not tied to either your product or your strategy. And that's interesting because so often I will see a mission statement and it'll say, well, we make the best widgets, or we provide the best service. That's not what a mission statement is about. Third, your mission statement is not tied to either revenue or profit. Each of these are indicators of a good mission statement. They're indicators of success, but they're not the components of a mission statement. Number four, your mission statement should not be bound by the constraints of time, meaning you don't come up with a mission statement for each year or couple years. It should last almost forever. And fifth, your mission statement should articulate your company's, your organization's reason for being. It must be true. It should be short, almost like a mantra of sort, because your mission statement is a tool. It's something that you're going to use within your company to help achieve those goals and execute on those strategies. Your mission statement should also be completely idealistic. So you can start with the following thought: how does this company contribute to a better world? How does this company contribute to a better world? And your answer should get you closer to what your mission statement is. It's not a statement of what you ought to do. The mission statement should be a statement of what your company actually does. And in your reading and in your handout, you've got some examples of different company mission statements. Here are a couple that I like. Quick Trip, convenience store. Their mission statement: to provide opportunity for employees to grow and succeed. By the way, Quick Trip gets over 1,000 unsolicited job applications every week. I wonder why. Ritz-Carlton, this is one of my favorite all-time mission statements. Ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. That's their mission statement. So simple and yet so powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. If you have ever stepped into, if you've ever stayed at a Ritz-Carlton hotel, you know that mission statement resonates with every single one of those employees. So then the question becomes, so how does an organization go about discovering their mission statement, coming up with their mission statement? There are a number of different tools for doing that. One that I use with my clients in doing strategic planning is called 5 Whys. 5 Whys. It's a tool that originated in Japan in the total quality movement with the Toyota company. 5 Whys, and it's as simple as just asking an individual, maybe the owner, the CEO of a company, 5 questions, all starting with why. Usually I'll start off with, so John, Mary, tell me what this company does. Oh, you sell this product, you deliver this service. And why is that important? What's meaningful about that? And I'll get a response. And then I'll come back and say, well, why is that important? Why is that meaningful? What does that mean to you? And I'll get a response. And then I'll ask another why question and another why question. And inevitably, by the 5th why, sometime sooner, I've gotten pretty close to hearing that company's mission statement, their core purpose. It's almost magical at times. It's never failed me. Hard to do to yourself. It takes someone else, an outsider, a third party, to ask that question. But it's very powerful. Another question you could ask is, and who benefits from that? And how do they benefit from what it is that you do? Then the question becomes, so what happens? Many companies don't have a mission statement, probably the majority. What happens when a company fails to have a clear purpose? Well, my experience is that employees will create their own purpose, their own personal purpose, their own personal why. So imagine you've got 100 employees. Every employee has their own purpose, their own why. What impact does that have on your company's performance, on your ability to deliver to your customers? You can imagine. It's like having 100 people in a boat all rowing in different directions. What a mess that would be. So I've got great news for each of you now that you understand what mission means. Each of you now has a new job title in addition to all the other jobs you're responsible for. You have a new job title. You are the CMO within your company. CMO, Chief Meaning Officer. You're responsible for helping your employees understand what your company's mission is and how their work, how their job contributes to that mission or purpose. I'll finish with a quick question. This segment, one of my favorite stories about mission, it goes back to 1962. President John F. Kennedy was touring the NASA facility in Houston, Texas, talking to people working there, the engineers, the astronauts, the management of the facility, and he came across a janitor with a broom in a hallway. And he broke away from his group and started talking to the janitor and asked the janitor, he said, "What is it that you do here?" Janitor thought about the question for a moment and responded, "Mr. President, I'm helping put a man on the moon." Mr. President, I'm helping put a man on the moon. Clearly, that organization, NASA, had a strong purpose and continues to today.